everybody, Greg Davies here. In this video I'm going to show you how to create web graphics using Adobe Fireworks. Now you probably know Photoshop, and Photoshop is great, I love it, it's the best photo editing program, but Fireworks was designed specifically to create screen graphics and optimize graphics for the web. And it's much better when it comes to creating web graphics, so that's why web designers use it. And you can download a free trial of Fireworks, just sign up at adobe.com and you can download a fully functional trial. So when you open Fireworks, you're going to see the start screen, as you can see right here. I'm going to create a new document. Fireworks uses an enhanced version of the PNG format as its native file format, and it maintains all the information in the file, all the layers and everything. It's pretty much like the Photoshop PSD format. Okay. Canvas size. Actually, all my web graphics are going to be stored inside this document, and I need some real estate. So I make it 5,000 pixels wide and 5,000 pixels high. Should be enough. Resolution doesn't matter now because I define the canvas size in pixels. Canvas color, actually you can change it anytime, but I go with transparent. Click OK, and I have a brand new document. Let's save it first. Okay, you need a site folder for every website project, so I just create a new folder. Your site folder name could be something like yourdomainname.com, but I'm gonna name it as site1. And inside my site folder, I create a new folder for my Fireworks documents. I'm gonna name it as Fireworks. File name also could be something like your domain name, but again I'm gonna name it as site1. File format is PNG, as I mentioned before. Just click save, and now you can see the Fireworks user interface, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know when we get there. But let's start working now, because that's how you can actually learn stuff, by doing, right? So I recommend you do everything I do on the screen, and you're going to master Fireworks very quickly. And I started from scratch just like you, so let's get started. I need some cool web graphics I can use. And web graphics are typically the place where people stumble and fall, and yet it's one of the easiest things to create, because once you understand where to find good graphics and recognize them, the internet is crammed with great graphics that you can nick or rip. And even Picasso had a saying. He said, good artists copy, great artists steal. So I'm going to show you how to get a design, edit it, make it to your own so it's different and it stands out. One of the best places to find great web graphics, other than just searching for images on the internet, is templatemonster.com. They deliver the best templates on the net, just like they say, and they really do. They have templates created by the best web design studios in the world. And here on the side you can search by category and find templates that are designed specifically for your market, or you can even search by color, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to search for website templates. Click apply, and I check out the, let's say, design category. Apply and search. Let's see what I got. Okay, I've got almost 600 templates to get ideas from, which is insane. It's a lot of templates. And here you can actually buy templates and get a full design, but I'm not gonna buy any templates now. Obviously, I'm just shooting this video for you. But I try to get one and copy it. Like this one is pretty cool. Let's check it out. Okay, this one is perfect for an exercise. So I'm gonna copy this header image and paste it in Fireworks. Just right click on the image, or hold down your control key and click on the Mac and choose copy image. Now if you can't copy the image for some reason, maybe it's a flash file or whatever, then you can capture your screen. On the PC keyboard there's a key called print screen, and it basically captures your entire screen. On the Mac you can press Command Shift 3 to capture the entire screen, or Command Shift 4 to capture a part of the screen that you select. And once you've done that, you've copied the image. Let's go back to Fireworks, and I press Ctrl V or Command V on the Mac and paste my image in. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Now there are a lot of different ways to zoom in Fireworks. preset zoom values. You can also press Ctrl plus or minus to zoom, Command plus or minus on the Mac. Or you can just hold down the Control key and use the scroll on your mouse. It's the same thing. But make sure you select the object you want to zoom in, because Fireworks is going to zoom in on the middle of your selected object. If nothing's selected, then on the middle of your canvas. So make sure you select first and don't get lost in your canvas. But you can also use the zoom tool up here, or just press Z and click and drag over the area you want to zoom in. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Alright. Cool. And if you need some real estate, you can collapse your panels down to just icons by clicking this arrow up here. You can expand them back out by clicking again. Or you can also press your tab key and hide or show all your panels and tools. Or by pressing the F key a couple times, you can access the full screen mode. And these are pretty handy if you need some real estate. Now I'm going to edit my image. First I'm going to delete the lower part. And then I'm going to get rid of this text, logo, and search field as well. But before you do anything, make sure you select your image first. Some designer had a saying, he said, to have an effect, you must select. And it really applies to Fireworks. So I grab my pointer tool, select my image, and then I grab my marquee tool and select the area I want to delete. Okay, I zoom in a bit just to make sure I only delete the white part. I can move my selection using the arrow keys on my keyboard. I can move 10 pixels if I hold down the Shift key. Or if I hold down the spacebar, I can scroll on my canvas using the mouse. And also, if I hold down the Shift key, I can add to my current selection, or if I hold down the Alt key or Option key on the Mac, I can get rid of the selection. Also, there are many different types of selection tools, like marquee tool, oval marquee tool. I have lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and a magic wand tool as well. So you can use any of them, but my selection is fine. So I just press my delete key and delete the lower part. Cool. I press escape to deselect, or if it doesn't work, I just right click and choose deselect. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a bit. I'm going to select my image, and zoom out, and now I'm going to get rid of the text and logo and search field. But before I start editing my image, I create a copy of it and keep an original version just in case. So I hold down my Alt key or Option key on the Mac and click the image, grab a copy and drag it over here. Okay, I zoom in and I get my rubber stamp tool. The way rubber stamp tool works is it samples pixels from a location and copies them into the area you want to fix. Let me show you. If I hold down my Alt key and click once, I select the location I want to sample pixels from, and once I let go my Alt key and click again, I copy pixels into that area. See, I can just edit my image, but make sure you're locating an area that's got similar coloration, brightness and detail. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about it since my image has pretty much the same coloration all over it. But I'm going to change the brush size to 50, and I also change the edge to the minimum because I don't need it. You can also change the opacity. For me, 100% is fine, so I just edit my image. Okay, it's all gone. I grab my pointer tool, select my image, and down here at the properties panel, I can see the actual size of my image. It's 970 pixels wide and 165 pixels pretty cool because the ideal header image is somewhere between 800 and 1000 pixels wide, but I'm going to resize it just a bit. I want to constrain proportions, so I turn this on, and now I change the size to 950 pixels wide. As you can see, the height also changed proportionally, and actually I want to make it even lower, but I don't care about proportions now since I don't have anything special on my image. If you have people on your image or something, you definitely want to constrain proportions, but with my image it doesn't really matter, so I turn it off and I only change the height to 150 pixels. Okay, now I'm gonna put my own logo and text on it, but first let's talk about the Fireworks user interface because there are a couple things I want to show you. Here on the left you can see your tools, on the right you can see your panels. If you ever try to find a panel and you can't see it on your screen, the window menu is the place to go. All the different panels are listed here, and there's a checkbox beside the ones that are currently visible, and you can turn off or turn on any panels you need. You can also float panels, like I can grab a panel and just drag it out of the canvas. I can move it around and I can move it back over to its group. There you go. One panel I want to point out for you is the Layers panel. Layers help you organize your objects, and any Fireworks document, even if it's a brand new file you've just created, is going to have at the very least a web layer and content layers. The web layer is where web objects are stored, things like slices, where you optimize and export your images for the web. We're going to talk about that later. The content layers are where you store all your visual elements, your images, your text, and all those different things that are in there. Inside my content layer, which is called layer 1, you can see my two images. I can double click on the layer and rename it. I'm going to call it header. And here at the bottom I can create a new layer. I can create a new sublayer, or I can delete any selected layer or object. You can also turn off an object or a layer so I can't see it. Turn it back on. And if I want to make sure an object doesn't get edited, even by me accidentally, I can lock it so I can still see it, but I can't select it or edit it. I'm going to lock my header images, and I'm going to bring in some text. I grab my text tool, and I want my text right here. So I just click and drag. And when I let go the mouse, I can start typing. You can type in your own slogan or whatever your brand requires. I just type in professional web design made easy. Okay, I grab my pointer tool, select my text, and I zoom out a bit, and I change the font family to Impact. Font size will be 35 pixels, and I change the color. I can pick a color here. I can use my color picker, or I can pick any color from the screen. And I pick the color from my original image. And I like the color range, but I want to make it brighter. So I'm just going to adjust it a little bit and make it brighter. Okay. Actually, I go back for a second. You can also experiment with fill options. I'm not going to do that now. So just click away. And here you find all your basic text editing stuffs. You can change the color of the stroke to red, for example. You can change it back to transparent, and you can change the horizontal scale. You can bold your text. You can change the opacity, the blend mode, and you can add light filters. I'm gonna add a drop shadow light filter. Sorry you can't see it. Shadow and glow, and drop shadow. I can edit it. I can change the color of my shadow. I can change the distance. I can change the opacity, the softness, and the angle. And if I click away, I can see my filter right here. I can turn it off, I can turn it on, I can double click it and edit it, or I can add even more filters, or I can just select it and delete it by clicking this minus icon. And the cool thing is, you can experiment with filters as much as you want without affecting your actual object. I mean, you can always go back and edit your filters or even delete them, so filters are cool, I use them a lot. But you can also apply styles to your objects, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. I'll just make a copy of my text real quick, because once you apply a style to an object, it's very difficult to get rid of it. It's not like filters, it's more than that. So I hold down my Alt key or Option key on the Mac and click on my text and drag a copy over here. Okay, I go to my styles panel, and here you can see a lot of different style families. I'm going to check out my wood styles, and I'm going to choose this one. Okay, it looks good. Now if you take a look at your properties panel, you realize that styles are a combination of different fills, strokes, live filters, and Photoshop live effects. This means I can edit the style, and after that I can even save my own style by clicking this little icon here. So that's pretty cool. And you can apply styles to any object, not to just text, even to photographic images, so keep that in mind. Okay, I delete my white text, and I reposition this one. Okay, now I'm going to create some background for my website. Grab my rectangle tool, and I just create a rectangle right here. Okay, there's an overlap, so I go to my layers panel and I change the order of my objects. I move my rectangle to the bottom. There you go. Actually I create a new layer for my background. So I create a new layer. I'm going to name it as background. And I grab my background rectangle and drag it over inside my background layer. Okay, there's an overlap again, so I change the order of my layers. And it goes to the top. And now I select my background rectangle, and I resize it to, let's say, 920 pixels wide and 1500 pixels high. Color fill will be white, no stroke, and I get rid of the texture as well. Okay, and I'm going to add a live filter, so you can't see it. Shadow and glow, and I change the color to gray, 2 pixels wide. I change the opacity to 75%, softness 10, and offset 0 is fine. Just click away, and you can see my glow right here. I change the roundness of my rectangle to 5%. Let me show you. You can see it's rounded right here. And I reposition my rectangle. And once I start moving it, I get these kind of pink smart guides. By default, they are turned on. And what they do is they help you align objects based on the position of other objects on your canvas. So based on the position of my header image, I align center. Okay, I look my rectangle, and I get my zoom tool and zoom into this area. And I'm gonna create a triangle and fill out this gap, if you will. I grab my arrow tool, and I create an arrow, resize vector objects, you get this little anti-alias edge. If you want to get rid of it, you can either change the edge to hard down here at the properties panel, or you can go to your modify menu and choose snap to pixel. It's going to handle that for you, but I'm not going